This episode is sponsored by Outlander, Blood of My Blood. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the podcast that helps film professionals and other creative people, all creative people really, to live a more focused, effective and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson and this is episode 164, the Overwhelm Escape Plan. 15 proven strategies to regain control. Overwhelm comes not from having too much to do, but from not knowing how to prioritize what matters most. Leo Babauta, unquote. So, welcome back again to this, the second of three special bonus in-between episodes that will sit between season 13 and season 14 of the show. And I don't have a lot of free time right now, but I did want to put a few shows out there to help my regular listeners out and to remind you that I exist and that the show is still going. There will be a season 14 somewhere down the line. Please don't worry about that. I just have too many things on the go. And there was a slight delay in even getting these out because I had an injury. I was working on 3 or 4 different projects at the one time, and it was all a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about overwhelm. And overwhelm is a state of emotional, mental, or sensory overload that leaves us feeling inundated, stressed, and unable to cope effectively. It's characterized by an intense emotional response to a situation or a series of events that seem to be too much to handle. It can manifest itself in various ways, like feeling anxious or irritable or unfocused and experiencing difficulty making decisions or just completing simple tasks. And several factors contribute to it. Things like excessive workload or unrealistic expectations, perhaps lack of clarity in what you're getting asked to do or direction, insufficient resources or support to get done what you need to get done. And in some cases, an accumulation of smaller stressors over time can lead to a sense of overwhelm, making it challenging to navigate your everyday life and work. And when we experience overwhelm, it's essential to take a step back, to identify the root causes and implement strategies to manage stress, set realistic expectations, and establish boundaries. Because by doing so, we can regain a sense of control and balance in our lives. Overwhelm is interconnected with mental health aspects like stress, anxiety, depression, and burnout. Overwhelm can cause stress and be a symptom of it, creating a cyclical effect that may worsen your mental health, and it triggers anxiety symptoms and can increase your sensitivity to stressful situations and minor stressors. And prolonged overwhelm can lead to depression or burnout as it negatively impacts our self-esteem, our motivation, and our well-being. And these mental health challenges can exacerbate, I believe is what I'm trying to say, the feelings of overwhelm, necessitating professional help to break the cycle sometimes. One other thing worth mentioning, though, before I go into the strategies for dealing with overwhelm, is that when you're overwhelmed, we might become more irritable, emotionally distanced from others, or have difficulty empathizing with others as well. And this can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts in relationships, as friends, family, or colleagues can feel neglected or unappreciated, and can actually build upon the tension that you're already feeling because of these human interactions and situations and feelings that start to surround you. And if this is something that you recognize and suffer from on occasion, then here are 15 strategies that you can use to help you to regain control and find balance in your life. And I'm not going to go into great detail here. And if you want to peruse these at a more leisurely pace, then please go to the episode page on filmproproductivity.com. If you go there right now, it'll be the one right at the top of the front page. And you'll be able to look at all of these written down already, pre-listed, all done, and you can put them into action yourself. But here is my overwhelm escape plan in 15 points. Number 1, prioritize your tasks. Identify your most important tasks and focus on them first. Make a to-do list or use a task management tool to stay organized. I've done an episode on brain dumping as well. Sometimes you just want to get it all out of your head onto a piece of paper or a whiteboard, and then you can start to sort it out and start prioritizing. Again, I've done shows on prioritization. That's a big part of productivity. Next up is to break down larger tasks. Divide complicated tasks into smaller, more manageable, more edible pieces so that you can make them less daunting for you. Number 3, set boundaries. Communicate your needs and limitations to colleagues, friends, and family members. And here's the big one. It's the second episode of the whole series. Learn to say no when you need to. No should be your go-to answer when someone asks you for something, not yes. If yes is your automatic answer, you're going to be overwhelmed really quite quickly in your life. Number 4 is to take breaks, and this is a tough one. I find this all the time with people that are stressed out about things. Step away from your work periodically to recharge and refocus. Take short walks, meditate, or engage in any sort of relaxing activity. Number 5, limit distractions. Turn off the notifications. I've done it on the phone as I'm recording this episode. I've put it on to silent. It's not flashing. It's not doing anything. It's sitting beside me because I'm using it for internet access for some of the programs I'm running, but it is not on. Put your phone away would be even better. Or use productivity tools to minimize interruptions and maintain your focus. I use things like the Pomodoro technique. There's apps for this sort of thing that you can put into your browser. There's another one called Forest. I've talked about these in the past. Set boundaries on daily news and information intake, such as maybe 30 minutes of social media browsing, for example, to prevent yourself feeling overwhelmed by excessive content. That is another big thing. And things like Apple have got it. They used to, I don't use Apple devices anymore. Sometimes they've got like a news feed running straight into your desktop or whatever. Get rid of it. It's going to be a distraction. And again, so even just looking at social media, one of my big problems, I've talked about it again in the past, is YouTube addiction or watching shorts on Instagram or whatever. Sometimes I feel like I've done a shift before I start working because I've watched that many videos before I've kind of left the house. Sometimes it depends on the day. I don't do it every day, but I'm aware of it, you know. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Number 6, delegate. Share responsibilities with others whenever possible, especially tasks that are outside of your core competencies or areas of interest. I talked about it in the last episode. I had a wee sound mix to do for a 9-minute documentary that I'd made. I just paid somebody to do the sound mix so that I was able to move on to recording these 3 episodes. If I hadn't done that, you probably wouldn't be listening to this episode now. It'd be another few weeks down the line. Sometimes it's just worth paying someone to do it or delegating somebody to do what you need to do so that you're not dealing with, sometimes it's even just little things, a whole load of little things, you know. Number 7, practice self-care. Prioritize your sleep. Prioritize exercise and a healthy diet to support your mental and physical well-being. Number 8, seek support. Reach out to friends, family, or even a mental health professional to discuss your feelings and seek advice or encouragement if you are struggling with overwhelm. Number 9, focus on the present. Focus on the now. Practice mindfulness to reduce anxiety about the future and your regrets about the past. Focus on what you can actually accomplish today, and you will feel better about yourself. Number 10, classic one here of the productivity world, is time management. Implement time management techniques such as, I mentioned it earlier, the Pomodoro technique or time blocking. I've done an episode on time blocking fairly recently to help structure your day, increase your focus, and prevent burnout. Number 11, regularly review and adjust. Periodically review your commitments, your goals, and your priorities to ensure that they align with your values and your objectives. Be open to adjusting your plans as needed to maintain balance and well-being. Again, I talk about this one a lot. Look back at any one of the best year yet plan. It covers this sort of thing. I've done episodes on this, but reviewing and adjusting what you're trying to do, focusing on why you're doing things, and that is quite often value-led, and what your objectives are, what you're trying to do. This is all important. Number 12, celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate small accomplishments along the way to maintain motivation and boost self-confidence. That's another thing I talk about all the time, is the cycle of productivity. The cycle of productivity, once you've completed your task, is take a moment to recognize that you've been successful in this. If you don't take these moments at the end of each loop of work that you complete to go, I've done well there, you're going to gradually, over time, lose the energy to move forward. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a celebration, even if it's just a 5-minute or a 10-minute break between what you're doing as a reward for working hard. That then encourages you to work hard in the next cycle, and that can go on again. Anyway, number 13, create a supportive environment. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who encourage and motivate you. Minimize exposure to negative or toxic influences. You may have to rework the people that you pick up the phone to every day to see how they're doing. You may have to rework the people you choose to work with. I've cut a few people out of my life in recent years, and it has all been for the better. I talk about toxic relationships in a number of shows early on in the show, in the podcast, so get back into the previous shows and listen to those. They have always been extremely, extremely popular. Create yourself a supportive environment. Number 14, cultivate a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than viewing them as threats or setbacks. This growth mindset can help you to build resilience and overcome obstacles more effectively. And finally on this list, number 15, organize your physical space. Maintaining an organized and clutter-free workspace can help you to reduce feelings of overwhelm and improve focus and productivity. Again, it's yet another thing I've talked about a lot on the show, and that is that if I'm surrounded by junk and it's piling up round about me, if my desk is really untidy, it's kind of half untidy at the moment, by the way. I've been very, very busy. I'm starting to clear it. I've got a hoovered floor. My office is kind of still a mess, but it's significantly better than it was a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of a reflection of your internal mind space if the space you're working in is chaotic. So try and maintain an organized and clutter-free workspace. And implementing these strategies will help you to better manage your tasks, reduce stress, and prevent these feelings of overwhelm. And while I was researching this episode, and I didn't save the link. I could probably find it. If I find it, I'll put it in the show notes. I came across an article from the Centre for Women's Health, and that came from Sarah Owens, MSW, LCSW, which states, we are meant to be outside and walking most of the day, but instead we are inside and sitting most of our days. Owens recommends going outdoors at least 3 times per day, even for just a few minutes. She urges us to practice breathing and nurture, it says nature there, they've clearly spelled it wrong, nurture awareness, to listen for birds and look for flowers and embrace the rain when it shows up. Take a moment to enjoy the world, to appreciate it. I think that's come up in one of my Pearls of Wisdom shows, so look back at them for more information. And there's 3 more elements that have been touched upon within these 15 solutions, but I've kind of come up with these because I was looking around and a few just didn't quite sit in with the list. So here they are. Here's 3 more basically is what I'm saying. Connecting with others is an important one. Regularly connect with loved ones through text, calls, virtual conversations, or in-person gatherings to nurture relationships and support mental well-being. That probably goes hand in hand with stay away from the nutters, stay away from the toxic people. The next one here is to play, to engage in playful activities with children, with friends or pets to encourage physical movement and joy in your life. And finally, I want to delve a little bit more into what was number 7 in that list, which is something along the lines of practicing self-compassion, because you want to develop an awareness of negative self-talk, and you want to learn to reframe these thoughts with kindness and grace, treating yourself as you would a dear friend. Your self-talk is the channel of your future. Jim Kwik, unquote. And I'm bringing this one up as it's fair to say that self-talk significantly influences our self-image, emotional well-being, and our success. The way we talk about ourselves can either exasperate feelings of stress and anxiety or help us to navigate these emotions. By becoming more aware of our inner dialogue and reframing negative self-talk into positive affirmations and thoughts, we can regain control over our emotions, we can increase our self-confidence, and we can build resilience. And this in turn helps us to manage feelings of overwhelm and allows us to focus on our goals and our priorities. And remember that your self-talk has the power to shape your reality, like Jim Kwik was saying there. So choose your words wisely. Please don't forget to subscribe for more episodes like this one, where we dive into productivity hacks, creative strategies, and much, much more. Your subscription on any one of the audio podcasting platforms will help you to stay updated with new insights as I put new shows out that can transform your approach to work and creativity. Let me end today, though, with some words from Confucius, who said, "By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is bitterest." Now take control of your own destiny, keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you're listening to right now is Adventures by Ehumitsu, and you can view the show notes, the full show notes for this episode, only on the official website, filmproproductivity.com. You can also follow my personal accounts on X and Instagram at fight_director, or follow the show itself on X at FilmProProdPod, or on Facebook at FilmProProductivity. Please continue to subscribe to the show, folks. Wait a minute. Please continue to support the show, that's what I'm trying to say, by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review.